up and audible with the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen on the program. I get to meet Anthony Richardson. Fingers crossed for that. Nobody's really talking about these Colts enough on a national level. 9-win team. We got a great defense. The run game's going to be the story, I promise. Speaking of that, Jonathan Taylor probably on, maybe Pittman. We get like a VIP look with our friends or partners at the Colts, which we love, but we're kind of tired. We're on our 19th trip. You know, Charlie, you look kind of tired. Can I just, Charlie, let me hold this for you. Charlie, let me hold this for you. There we go. Why don't you just, to get a good rest? I appreciate all the work. There we go. Let's effing go. Hey, Blue. Anthony Richardson, do you know how long I've waited to meet you?
No, I do not know how long.
Years and years. I think I've been to this facility 3 or 4 times and I didn't get to meet you. You're this best kept secret. I have a question. It's like 100 degrees. Why are we wearing a hoodie?
I don't know. It's like a Florida thing. We just want to wear hoodies sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're trying to mask your physical giftedness. That's what I think. You're trying to hide it and keep it a secret. Defo just said and agreed with me that you're the most physically gifted quarterback in the NFL. What do you think?
I would like to agree. I feel like I'm different in so many ways. I'm not the average size quarterback. I'm 250 pounds. I don't know many quarterbacks in the league that's 250. I have a 40-inch vertical. I don't know many quarterbacks that have 40-inch verticals. And I'm decently fast, so I would kind of agree.
Oh, my gosh. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you out there. Week 1 against the Texans, of course. You've got a lot of work to do until then. Shane Steichen, I just met him. He used like a Steph Curry to compare you, not physically or anything, but I look at you and it's LeBron. Like that is the comp. How would you do in the NBA? It's always a big argument.
I think I do pretty good. I talk about it with my friends all the time. I ask how many points would they average. I feel like I would average a good, 12, 13 in the NBA if I had a
How would
chance.
you 12, 13?
Yeah.
Hamilton, do we agree? Yeah. Yeah, I heard that's your thing, to be humble. So this is going to be a hard interview for you, I am afraid.
All right, we'll see.
How would you do in a dunk contest?
NBA
dunk contest.
Yeah, I think I would win.
Who's your favorite player?
In the NBA?
Yeah.
LeBron James.
LeBron.
Yeah.
I think you could beat. I really do. I think you could beat your favorite player in a dunk contest.
Right now, yeah, because he's about to be 40, so yeah, I would agree.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, you got a couple of drives. I think it was 9 snaps in the preseason game. When Shane was like, "All right, you're done," what were your thoughts?
I was like, man, we didn't put up no points. I was a little hurt about that. I was looking forward to, putting together a little touchdown drive, but it's all good.
It's all good. What's the one thing you've been working on in this offseason? It's been so long since we've gotten that taste of you during an NFL game. What's something that you're maybe most proud of working on?
Everything, honestly, but mainly, I guess, accuracy. I've been trying to perfect that for years now. Just constantly working at that, so probably my accuracy.
It's really hard to find a comp for you. Do you have one, like somebody that you looked up to and you saw yourself in?
Definitely Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little Josh Allen, maybe even a little? Younger Josh Allen? No?
I mean, maybe. I didn't watch him as much when I was younger. I always just seen Cam and Lamar.
What's your relationship with Cam? Does he hit you up?
I've talked to him a couple of times. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I feel like every quarterback tells me he's so willing to help out or give advice or any of that. Love hearing that. I'm trying to find the good in you not being available last year. You never won it because of injury. But I've talked to some of the best players in the game, like Saquon Barkley, and him missing an entire year. Him saying, it's good. It was meant to happen, and I'm actually better for it. Do you find that at all?
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. It finally gave me time to, just sit back and relax, because I've always been on go, for a while, especially last year. Last year was a long year. So that injury kind of gave me time to just sit back and understand what was going on around me and just gave me time to learn mentally.
Did Gardner leave you with any lesson? Because, this team won 9 games. I expect you to win every game this year. That's my expectation for the squad. But just being in that quarterback room, how has it affected you?
Gardner, he doesn't talk as much as some people would think. He's really laid back and chill. He is a different guy, but I really just watched him work. He's just so smart when it comes to understanding defenses and stuff. So he used that to his advantage. So I definitely watched him do that, and I try to take some of that from him.
Do you like being talked about? Like, would you like a world where everyone's like, Anthony Richardson's the most physically gifted, and everyone's saying that? Or do you prefer the world where everything's kind of still right now and you can just jump into the water?
Yeah, I don't really like all the attention.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Can I ask you why?
I just never been that type of person. If I do get the attention, okay, that's cool and all, but I'm not really looking for it.
What's important to you?
My family, God, and football, I guess.
Yeah, friends.
That's part of my family.
Friends like CJ Stroud.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
How does that work? You're friends with him. There's this rivalry. Defo just said there's bad blood between the two. There's so much hype for this week 1 matchup. You're 1-0 against him. What is the relationship like? How can you be friends with somebody that you're trying to beat on that level?
I mean, that just goes with anything, like even basketball. Like, I could be cool with you before the game, but when the time, get the rolling, no more coolness. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to dominate, but it's all good. In the NFL, it's a bunch of guys like that. You can just talk to them, be cool with them, be cordial. But once the clock gets to rolling, no more.
You're very humble. So is your coach. But I think you can talk about your coach, right?
Oh yeah.
He somehow put together a top 10 offense without you, without Jonathan. You guys were on the field together for 2 snaps. The two of you together. It's insane. It's totally insane what he was able to do. What does he deserve credit for the most?
Man, I think he's a genius, honestly. I'm pretty sure people already know that, but just like actually being in the room with him and just hearing him talk about football, the man knows so much. And it's like I'm lucky enough to have somebody that knows this much about ball, so he could just teach me. So, yeah, I think he's a genius.
Is anybody more excited for joint practices than you?
Probably our defense, yeah, because they like to get physical. They like to hit people, so we'll see how this joint practice goes.
What are you looking forward to? I mean, you get to face other competition. I'm sure it gets monotonous, so you have to do the same thing every day. And now you got, it's kind of like a gauge to see how good you guys are.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to competing, get a new defense in here, on our little home turf, as some will say. So I'm just looking forward to competing. And then one of my old coaches from college coaches with Arizona, so get to see him.
You mentioned your family. I hear you have a brother,
Oh, yeah.
not far. I don't know anything about it. I just met you today. Tell me about your brother.
Pretty much my mini-me. He's just like a smaller version of me, honestly. You'll see. I don't know if he'll be here tomorrow at practice, but if you were, you'll see him running around here, just doing whatever.
Well, let's talk. He plays on the high school level.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so tell me. Shout out the high. I need the high school.
Okay.
I need I need his name. I need his numbers. What do we got?
So
you're gonna be the hype man for other people right now. Go for it.
I can try. His name is Corey Carter. Number 3. He plays receiver. Last year was his first year playing quarterback. He did pretty good, but I think he's a better receiver. He plays at Westfield High School, so that's probably like 5-10 minutes away from here. But yeah, he's decent. He's just small right now.
Are you slipping that like tape on Ballard's desk every once in a while?
Nah. Man, Mr. Ballard, he be out there watching him. He was actually watching him this past weekend. So he told
Where?
At Westfield High School they had a little jamboree, and he told me like
Chris Ballard went to Westfield High School's jamboree to check out Carter.
Well, not to check out my brother, but his son used to go there, so he shows love. Still going.
What do you make of him?
He said he did good, but I'm a tough critic, so.
Yeah. Is there a game you're looking forward to more than any other this season?
All of them.
Yeah.
And not just one. I'm trying to win them all.
But I'm trying to understand, I'm looking at if a player has, Jonathan Taylor had an 1,800-yard season, right? So him missing time is like, I know what I can do. I'm a made man. I want to get back there. You haven't been able to show anybody on the NFL level what you can do. What does that do to a man?
I mean, I don't know what it do to anybody else, but it don't really do much for me.
No?
No, not really, because I know what I can do, and I know what I'm going to do, so it's nothing really to press for.
What about the kind of leader you're becoming? That's what everyone talks to me about, which I love because a lot of really physically gifted players, that part of their game gets slept on, whether it's IQ or their leadership ability. How have you handled being a leader, especially when you don't get to be on the field?
I guess I've handled it pretty well. I'm the quarterback, so everybody's always looking at me, looking for me to do or say something. Last year kind of taught me a lot about myself. Leadership was definitely one of the things I was working on. Like even not being on the field, just being out there showing guys, that I'm still here for them, regardless if I'm playing or not. But I've always been deemed as a leader, because of my physical stature since I was a little kid. So
Really?
it's something I've been working on for a while now. So I'm just trying to continue to let that grow.
So you're really thoughtful about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you're saying you learned lessons last year. I mean, the world was thrown not just at you, at this whole team. What lessons did you learn?
Man, for one, just trying to find ways to, make myself feel good, because without football, I was kind of hurting. I was definitely a little sad about that for the first few weeks. But, just seeing my teammates come in and just grind, day in and day out, it just let me know that, we working towards something, regardless of if I'm playing or not. So I was just trying to make sure that I was a part of that still, and let them know that I didn't mentally check out, because I still wanted to be here.
So what did that look like? You just showed up. You were just on the field, giving advice, pointing things out.
Man, I would be in the training room for a few hours, getting rehab and treatment. Then I would be at the practices. I'll be at the meetings. I was pretty much everywhere. Wherever the team needed me to be, I was there.
That's what I heard from every player, Defo included, telling me that right now. How often is he in your ear about a Super Bowl ring?
I think we might have talked about it once, maybe once.
I've never left a conversation without it being the whole conversation with Defo.
Maybe once. He always just tell me just be myself. They don't need me to do anything too extra. They're like, just be myself and just do what I do, and then they're gonna ride with me. So
yeah, let's not act like you being yourself isn't kind of a lot, though.
I mean, it's not too much.
It's not too much. No. You can on the ground, through the air. You could do it all. Everyone's probably afraid of you. It's amazing. Defo, one last thing he mentioned was respect. He's like, I want a Super Bowl ring, but I want respect. Is that what drives you? I'm trying to get to what drives you to want to dominate, in your own words.
Do I want respect? I mean,
not do you want respect, but is that like your main driver?
Nah, definitely not. For me, it's just wanting to succeed. I always want the best of the best, regardless of what it is. I started playing football when I was 3 years old, and I said I wanted to get to the NFL because I was the best of the best. I'm here now, so I'm just trying to keep pushing and figure out what else is the best of the best, in this league. And the Super Bowl is that, and then Hall of Fame, that's also, on my bucket list. So, I just want to be successful. That's what really drives me. And then just putting on for my family. We've been through a lot, so it's like, I want to grind for them to make their life easier.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a name more famous than Chris Carter out there at the wide receiver spot someday. Shout out Westfield High School here in the local area. I think my favorite thing you said is, I'm here now. NFL, you're on notice. He's here now. It's all ahead of you. Good luck this year, Anthony.
Appreciate that.
Nice to meet you. And I love your shoes, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're deep into the Croc game.
I am.
Tell me, what do we got here? What are these little stickers?
So,
what do you call them? What do you call them? What are they called? I'm an old lady. Help an old lady out, AR.
Gibbets or something like that.
Okay. What do we got?
But got
Number one, dad. You got two dad.
Yeah, you got AR. You got Super Dad.
How many pair of Crocs do you have?
I don't know. Maybe like 60.
You have 60 pairs of
Crocs. Seriously. Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, I promise.
Seriously?
I promise.
That's insane. Those are good.
Yeah.
You have a deal with Crocs? Crocs.
No, man.
Hello.
Not yet.
Up and Indianapolis Colts. I'm here with head coach Shane Steichen, a.k.a. the only man in history to get screwed by Bob Barker on The Price is Right and throw for more touchdown passes in a single game for UNLV than Randall Cunningham ever did.
How about that?
You're the only person to ever do that, Coach.
Yeah, the old Price is Right. Me and my buddies, we actually went on a little caravan from Northern California down there. My senior year of high school, we went down after we graduated, went down, stayed in a hotel right across the street from the studio, woke up at like 3 in the morning, all right, and then we had to wait in line, and then you had an interview process that you had to go through.
What did you do to stick out?
Gosh, I don't remember exactly what I said. But you only have 15 seconds. So you got 15 seconds to give your spiel, and there's about 10 of you, and then they go, and me and my buddies were up there, and I don't remember what I said. I think I said, I'm going to UNLV, and I need some money, shoot, da-da-da-da-da. And I started going pretty good, and my buddy's like, I think you overdid it. And I'm like, I might have. And then the next thing you know, I was the second person called. And I started shimmying all the way down to the contestants row. Never got on stage. I was 0 for 6 up there, but It was a fun experience.
Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous at all. I was more excited. But they did tell you before, like, if you get called down here, you can't see the scores. You know what I mean? What people are bidding up there. And sure enough, you start going, you're looking back, and you're like, what'd they bid? And then, he's like, this person bid $550. They bid at $570. What's your bid?
I feel like
it was good.
Everyone is so jealous of you. Look, that is something that from a little girl, like every time I was homesick, that's like all I would watch. All I'd want to do is be part of the Showcase Showdown. That was it, which I love. I love that you're here. I want you to know why I'm here. I'm here to ruin this underdog undercover operation you're running here. I think the world at large would like to consider you an underdog. It makes no sense to me. You somehow won 9 games with this team without a quarterback, Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson, 2 snaps together all last year. How did you do it?
Well, I think the guys came together, really. It was all about the players. They put a lot of hard work into it. Gardner did a hell of a job stepping in for us, was always prepared and ready to go. And everyone stepped up, you know what I mean? And we needed all hands on deck, and that's what those guys did last year and put us in position to, win the division. Obviously, we fell short there. That's the ultimate goal every year is to win the division. So I'm excited about this football team, blessed to be in year 2, but excited about the guys, excited about the staff, excited about a lot of things.
The fact that you were in playoff contention with this squad last year is insane and amazing. And we get to see Anthony Richardson. We saw 9 snaps out of him the other night against the Broncos. Why do you think you're going under the radar, and do you enjoy that very much?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's external, expectations out there, but, our guys inside, all we care about is what we can control in that building. And that's going to work every day with that mindset, that we're going to have a successful season. But our guys are working their tails off, and we're looking forward to it.
With Anthony Richardson in his debut, was it hard to pull him off? Did he want to leave the field? What was that dynamic like?
Yeah, well, we had those conversations during the week. I was going to give the starters a series or 2 just to get their feet wet, get out there and go do their thing. So it was good to get those guys out there. Obviously, JT and Anthony getting those snaps together, and then we got a big week coming up this week with Arizona coming in here, 2 joint practices, so they'll get a bulk of the work for those practices for sure.
Oh, you and old Gannon. What's that going to be like?
It's going to be great. I'm excited to see him. Obviously, we had some good times in Philly together. We've had some good conversations leading up to this thing, so I'm excited for it.
What kind of conversations? Take me into those. How competitive do they get?
They'll be competitive, but really it was about the practice setup, how we're going to practice, how we want to do things. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all of that go down. With Anthony Richardson, it's sort of a mystery, right? We know. I'll ask you just point blank. Do you think he's the most physically gifted quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, he's the most physically gifted I've been around, I'll tell you that. Just his traits are incredible. The way he runs, the way he throws it are incredible. He went through a long process this offseason, going through the rehab process, but he attacked it the right way, which was awesome to see, and to have him for OTAs, ready for OTAs, and then going into training camp. He's done it the right way. He's been a complete pro, so I'm really excited for him this season.
And talking to Pittman and talking to even, Jonathan Taylor, reading even between the lines of stuff that's out there, he's such a leader. He wants to be the best. I've heard the most incredible things about Anthony Richardson. Is there any world where, and I have this old school way of thinking where a rookie should sit, and what is the goodness? What is the goodness of what happened last year? You never want it to be because of an injury, but is there any benefit to you going into the season?
Yeah, I think, with anything, I think all things happen for a reason. Whether you want them to happen or don't happen, things happen in football. And, he got the chance to sit back and learn and be in that QB room and see Gardner, who's done it, for a while. So that was a great experience for him. And so now it's his team, obviously. It was his team last year, and it's his team again this year. But he got to learn and sit and watch. And I think that, will pay dividends going forward.
Can you take me into that a little bit more? What is that when you get to sit and watch? What was maybe the one thing that you saw evolve, even though he wasn't on the field, about him? All we want to do is grow as people, as players, right?
Yeah, I think those quarterback meetings are awesome. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of detail that goes into those meetings. There's a lot of conversations that come up, within a game week. And for him to be in those and hear those from Gardner and Gardner's thoughts on certain things and how defenses are playing us, I think that was good for him to hear all that. So now, we're ready to go.
You're saying everybody came together, which is amazing, and you do have consistency. A lot of the starters are returning. A lot of the team is still here. Now you've got guys healthy. I'm just curious for you personally. You've been around the game so long. You've had success on so many different levels. Was there a lesson from last year, given everything that was thrown your way and getting through it all?
Yeah, I think the lesson was you fight through adversity. In this league, there's going to be ups and downs every year. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs this year, and it's how you fight through those things. And knowing that you gave everything you had Monday through Saturday to go play. And whether you win or lose, you can go in that locker room and say, I did everything for my team this week to give us a chance. And then, shoot, you win, you come back Monday morning, and you get ready to go and do it all over again. You lose, you come back Monday morning with the same mindset that here we go again.
Is there a player on this roster that you think should be getting a little more spotlight? I know you don't want to play favorites, but somebody who you need me to know as I cover it on the national level.
A guy that's really stepped up, and he had a good year for us last year and getting it back, was Julian Blackman. He's had a hell of a camp so far. He's made a ton of plays, so I'm really looking forward to his season this year.
Ooh, I love that. Love to hear that. Out the gates, you get the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson 1-0 against the Texans. I had Zaire on my show. I had EJ Speed on my show. What is the week leading up to that going to be like as far as reeling those guys in and making that perfect balance of go get after it and don't get overly emotional? Because it's there, Coach.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a big game. Obviously, week one, finishing the season against them, and then, starting off at home against them again, week one. It's a division opponent. Division games are super important for us. We got to take it one game at a time, but it will be amped up for sure at home week one. So we're looking forward to it, and I know our guys will be ready.
When it comes to your quarterback, how big of a point of emphasis is accuracy right now?
It's big with any quarterback. You want to be accurate with the football, find completions. If something's not there, you don't have to force something. Just take the check down, or obviously he's got great legs. He can, take off and run and scramble. So he's been doing a hell of a job through camp. We're looking forward to the season.
Yeah, I was in Chicago. Caleb was on the slip and slide. What was the other one, Hamilton, that the quarterbacks are doing? Tua told me he's doing jiu-jitsu. Excuse me. What's the thing for Anthony Richardson that we're like really honing in on?
I think that is it, to being smart in certain situations when to get down. I mean, obviously his legs are great, so he's going to use his legs, but it's the time and place to go get it. A fourth down, got to have it situation. We got to go get it. But if it's 1st and 10 and you're scrambling, you can make it 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 4. Hey, let's make it 2nd and 6 and get out of bounds.
You said the other day in a presser, I have the exact quote. You had a great line. Are you going to limit Steph Curry from shooting 3-pointers? I love that. Is that J School talking? I know you got your J School degree. What is that?
I just think, obviously, his ability to run the football is tremendous, and Steph Curry's ability to shoot threes is tremendous. Now, are we going to, go crazy with him running the football? There's going to be a time and a place to do it, but we're not going to take that away from his game.
How do you protect him?
Obviously, he's going to be smart with it. You know what I mean? There's going to be time and a place, like I said, where, he's going to use his legs, and he's got to be smart. But obviously, the offensive line, I feel great about what we have up front. Offensive line protecting him back there when he's throwing it.
I was in Philly. I sat with Roseman, and then I sat with Sirianni, and both of them were fighting over Jason Kelce. Like, Roseman saying, I want him in the scouting office. Obviously, Sirianni's like, he can coach any position group, and he can do whatever he wants. I'm like, okay. I just feel like we're overlooking the Steichen swoop potential here. Is there a world where you reel in your guy, Jason Kelce, to join you here in Indy?
Oh, shoot. Jason Kelce's a phenomenal player. I'll tell you what. Being around him for the 2 years that I was with him, tremendous teammate, tremendous leader, tremendous player. The way he went about his business day in and day out, the way he prepared was second to none. I mean, just meeting him for the first time when I got hired there, we were in my office for an hour and a half talking life, talking football.
Really?
And I kind of knew right then and there, that first interaction with him, that first impression, like, this guy was special.
You didn't answer the question. What's the potential for a Steichen swoop of Jason Kelce?
Well, I think if Kelce wanted to come back and play, I think he's going back to Philly to play or do something in Philly.
Do something in Philly. Do you think he'd make a better coach or a scout?
Gosh.
Scouting executive, let's say. Where would he knock it out the park more? I know we can do both, Coach.
Gosh, dang, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I know he'd be a phenomenal coach because he sees the game really well, but he'd also be a phenomenal scout the way he sees the game too. So that's
Coach,
his
you got to
decision.
pick one. Come on, I came all this way to get some answers out of you.
Gosh, coach. I'll go coach.
All right. I love that. I'm looking at the things that you did as a play caller this year. We were looking at the numbers this morning. How could you have engineered this offense that you did? Do you take any credit? Do you have nothing?
Never.
There's nothing. Wasn't it top 10 somehow? You engineered a top 10 offense with Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor playing a grand total of 2 snaps together.
Yeah, I think it's a credit to the players, and I think it's a credit to our offensive coaching staff. Jim Bob Cooter, our offensive coordinator, does a hell of a job with our offense. our line coach, our tight end coach, Reggie Wayne, our running back coach. I mean, it's
Reggie
a
Wayne, let's go.
Oh yeah, it's a collective group effort. Every week we put the game plan together.
I would be remiss. I can't let you go as there's cows in the background mooing. I love Indianapolis. Without asking you about Phillip Rivers, okay?
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite quarterbacks. You were with him his best year, 2018.
Yeah.
I remember it very well. What's your best Phillip Rivers memory?
Gosh, just the passion he had for the game, the way he played. He turned into a different person on game day. He was the ultimate guy in preparation. I've never seen a guy prepare like he did for a game. He was a coach on the field. He was a coach in the meetings. The way he looked at, blitz pickup and went about that. I just remember when I started, was the quarterback coach. When I got hired, I was quality control quarterback coach. I would put together the blitz tape for him in packages, and he would go through and put the calls in. He would go through and put the calls in on how we're, picking it up. And I mean, he was phenomenal in that regard. He held everyone to a high standard because he wanted to win so bad. I mean, you could feel it every day he came into that building, and he gave everything he had to the team. And that was the best part about him, was his preparation and his relentless effort that he gave to that football team.
Why won't he be on television? Why can we not lure him? There's no one else that I need to see on television but him.
Yeah, well, I don't want to speak for him, but I know he's got 10 kids, and he's a family man, and he's coaching his son in high school football down in Alabama right now. And I talked to him the other night. He's fired up
What do you mean you talked to him the other night? You regularly talk to Phillip. You got to get him out here at practice.
I do. We talk on a regular basis.
Has he been out here?
He has not yet. He's got a football season coming up.
Okay.
He's getting ready to play. But
Phillip.
his son Gunner is going to be a sophomore this year, and they're pretty good. I mean, I think he led Alabama high school in passing with over 5,000 yards last year as a freshman or something.
Wow.
So excited to see what they do. I know.
Calling you to talk like plays?
Oh, all the time. That's all. Yeah, all the time. We talk football all the time. And shoot, what are you guys putting in this week? Oh, we ran this and that and that and this, and we go back and forth and we talk about our stuff, and it's fun. It's exciting. I'm excited for him. I know his dad was a longtime high school football coach, and now he's following in his dad's football steps. Coaching his sons, and I know he's excited for the football season. Shoot, he's having staff meetings with his guys like crazy. I mean, it's like he's running that thing like an NFL organization.
I'm sure. With with a little assist from you, is he a Hall of Famer?
Without a doubt.
Let's go.
Without a doubt. I mean, you look at his numbers, what he did over his 17 playing career was phenomenal. Ultimate competitor.
What's your best impression, last one, of when he finds out that you said that Anthony Richardson is more physically gifted than he is?
He'll be fine.
What was his reaction? I need his impression. You know him better. Come on.
Oh, no, he'll be fine. He's seen him throw a football, obviously. So yeah,
gosh darn it. What God darn? No, gosh, what?
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit. I don't even. What's
oh yeah, dadgummit. Dadgummit. Golly, gracious to Pete. You got a whole bunch of them.
I love it. I'm jealous that you talk to him every day. I'm a little flustered by that. We appreciate it, Coach Steichen. You don't want any of the glory. You don't want anybody talking about you. I can tell, but we're here to burst the bubble. The Colts are coming, and it's dumb to call them the underdog after what they accomplished last year, going through so much adversity, and they're coming for that crown against the Texans Week 1. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
I'm sure you don't. But that's okay. All right, I'm here hanging out with Jonathan Taylor, and he's trying to tell me that being 25 is crazy. This is not the way to start the interview, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? I appreciate you coming in today.
Of course. I'm happy to be here, and you guys are all well rested, it sounds like. Coach gave you some extra reps of sleep. You mentioned it's your 5th year. Is that crazy?
Yeah, I always think about when I first came in as a rookie, and Naheem Hines, when he was here, I asked him what year he was going into, and he said, I'm going into year 4. And I'm like, the average career span in the NFL is like 3.5 years. So I'm like, you're going on year 4? I can't wait. I want to try to make it to year 4 and beat the statistics. Now I'm going on year 5, so they just keep stacking. Does
anything change going into this year? You have a very interesting arc here. You know what the greatness is of an 1,800-yard season, and then you know what it's like to be sidelined when you want to be out there to help your team. So what is that sort of difference between one year to the next or one season to the next? How does that impact you going into this year where I have high expectations for you guys?
I think it shows you how to conduct yourself and how to kind of maintain that even balance. When you have that 1,800-yard season, you know what it took to do that. And when you had, you were sidelined, you kind of understand what it takes to get back on the field. So trying to find that happy medium balance on how can I stay on the field and continue to play at a high level. You kind of figure out how to have that gauge.
What did you figure out? How do you do it?
Number one, you just have to maintain your body always. I've always been on that. Of course, things will happen, but a lot of it is a preventative measure. Going in the training room before something comes up. If you know that, you may need to improve, one part of your body, one area, or one part of your game, go and do it before something happens. Just go and take the initiative.
Is this any of this coming from the great Frank Gore?
1,000%.
Tell me about that.
Oh
the fact that you got to hang out with an absolute legend, but he's a legend for anti-aging. He's a legend for consistency and not getting hurt.
I'm telling you, I got to work out with him this offseason. Mind you, he still works out. He's doing the same things that we do, sleds, interval runs, like everything that we do. And it's insane that at his age, he's still working. And I think it's that mentality. The biggest thing was the mentality he mentioned, was having that mentality that no matter what, no one's going to outwork you. Being able to put the work in each and every single day, pushing yourself without having to have your coach or a teammate or a player, anybody push you. The only one that can push yourself the most is you. So just being able to learn from him throughout this offseason, I think it's gonna benefit me tremendously.
Oh, I just saw like a little glimmer in the eye, a little smile there. I love that. He's such a legend. You getting to hang out with him is great. And I was even hearing two-time Super Bowl champion Chris Long say that even when they're out of the league, they have to work out like athletes do. Like if you're a football player, it's dopamine, it's all of that, and keeping your body in shape matters a lot. And I like that Frank Gore is talking to you about the mentality. Now let's talk about 2024 Colts. You and Anthony Richardson. 2 measly snaps is all y'all gave the world last year. What can we expect?
I think it's going to be really exciting this year. I'm excited for Anthony. I know it's tough being sidelined your rookie year. I mean, you just made it to the highest level where you've been dreaming about. But he's ready. He's ready. He's been working very, very hard. I'm excited because I know that I'm going to do anything in my power to help make his job easier. And then if his job is easy, then everyone else in the league better just watch out.
Frank Gore says that he believes you can go over 2,000 yards this season. Did you hear that?
Yeah. He's one of my biggest supporters. Which is, if you have a supporter, that's one person you want to have supporting you.
Jonathan, how realistic is that? Derrick Henry did it 2020.
And I think that is one of the biggest things to understand, is that it's been done. It's been done before. So it's not like it's crazy to think that it's something that no one has done before. And not to take anything from Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry, you guys know what he brings to the table.
Look at this sign. Look at this sign right here. 1,000 yards you would pass Marshall and Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, number 2 in Colts history. That's what you did. You know that?
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
I don't know why. I don't know our guys. Our guys never told me that. I don't know what our stats guy said. That's literally insane. I'm hoping that happens.
Let's see that. Can you erased it? Rewrite it. I'm gonna need that. That's. I did not know that. He just looked that up right now.
I did not know that. I hope that happens because one, if you have 1,000 yards, of course that's a successful season. If we have 1,000 yards, that means we're running the football pretty well, and hopefully that's translating to a lot of games won.
You have the O-line to do it. You did 1,800. When you hear 2,000, and you know what it's like to hit 1,800. I'd say y'all don't understand how hard it is to do 1,800. Now you want 200 more of me? Like, let's not pretend it's easy to hit 2K.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, it's not easy whatsoever. But if you have the guys up front, which I believe we do, I mean, the O-line up front, those guys, I don't think people give them enough credit with how smart they are. Yes, they're very physical. They can move people out the way. They're very, very smart. Their techniques, their alignment, their assignment. And I think that's what allowed us to have that year we did in 2021. And I think that we're up for it again this year.
You're going to run the ball. It's going to be incredible to see. And you have a big game. You've played the Jets a couple times, but never in New Jersey. So you get to take them on in your home state. Do you remember your stats from the last time you played the Jets, Jonathan?
No, I had like over 100. I know I had like over 100 when we played them at home.
19 touches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have the ticket request started yet for Week 11?
For sure. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. I'm going to try to ask our people here, like, listen, how many tickets can I have?
Okay, you tweeted at Kenny Moore after he signed his new contract that it's now his job to help you create a celebration dance like his. Yeah. Where are we in that process?
Yeah, we're definitely working on it. I got some things narrowed down, but you guys all know K-Mo, he's one of
Yeah.
he's one of the most electrifying people after he makes a play. I mean, he does his little dance, a little suit and tie. So I want to take a little pointers from him just to kind of get a little
Show
sauce
me.
in the
Where are
end
we?
zone.
We're in training camp here, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Where are we at in our process with the KMO?
Well, I can't show too much right now.
Just a little
I can't show too
sample.
much, but just know it's gonna be a little arm act. There's gonna be twisting and turning, a little bopping, a little rotation in the shoulders. Just stay
I love
tuned.
it. Are you coordinating with AR? Is AR a celebration end zone NFL guy?
I believe he is. I think he has one of the best with the 360 spike.
100%.
I told him that guy.
Is
has
that
to be his
coming with
signature.
him?
I told him he should do it. I don't know if he's going to take my word, but that should be his signature move. That was really nice.
What is it like with him, with you and him? Obviously, reps separately, having to be leaders, not being on the field. Now you guys finally get to unleash.
I think it's just going to be a new dynamic. It's not only for us, but for opposing defenses. You kind of have to pick your poison. You got to play the field balance. I mean, you choose, you decide. We'll respond off of that. But I think it's really going to put a lot of stress on defense.
This is the most slept-on team in the NFL for no reason. Playoff contention without you and without him. Shane Steichen calling plays, somehow drawn it up so this team is winning and doing his thing. I don't think he gets any credit for it.
I tell people all the time, I think that he's the X factor. When you have a coach that has the grittiness and the edge like he does, he coaches like he's a player playing in the game, doing and trying to do anything he can to put us in the best position to win the game.
What do you mean by that? Because I just sat, it was like sitting with, I don't even know, like the nicest guy who might own the farm next door. He doesn't seem, when you just said, what did you say, edgy?
Edgy.
Edgy, grit. Tell me more about that.
I mean, there are situations in the game where, he's looking us dead in the eye. He's like, have no doubt in your mind. He's like, we're going to win this game. It's like, I'm going to make sure we win this game. Like, putting it on himself as a coach, like, I'm going to make sure we win this game. And that just fires you up. And if you don't want to play for a coach like that, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot wait to get this season started. You have joint practices against Arizona. That'll be fun. You make not so much a fashion choice, but the decision to do the Guardian cap. What went into that?
Well, number one, we practice in it all the time. And now they're asking guys, do you want to wear it during the season? And my thought was, it's hard to tell. I mean, I haven't played in the game with it. That's going to be the true ultimate test. So this preseason, being able to wear it throughout these preseason games, just trying to test it out and see, does it affect your game? Does it not? Does it inhibit me from being able to complete my job at a high level? So we're going to keep wearing it throughout the preseason and make that evaluation. But it's hard to tell without live game action.
Does it feel very different?
No. The first game I had, it did not feel different. It felt like practice. Of course, it was only limited snaps. So, of course, the more snaps we play, we'll be put in different situations. But so far, it didn't feel different.
Is there anything else that you're looking to get out of preseason action? I mean, you're a made player. You could just not go out there at all. Do you want something? Do you actually get something out of it that's meaningful?
Oh, 100. I mean, especially for us, like you mentioned, me and Anthony having 2 snaps. So just having everyone together, and even if it is for a few plays, it's different when it's in live game action. Practice, yes, everything is clean cut, everything is set out. But in the game, there's situations that comes up. Can we use our communication? Can we put that camaraderie that we built together on display on the field?
AR wanted to talk about his Crocs more than himself.
He's a big Croc guy.
I understand, but he would rather talk about anything else but himself. I would like you to tell the world something that maybe goes even more under the radar than other things. He's got physical talents, of course. I know he's a leader. These are things I know. What is something that you're proud of with Anthony Richardson?
I'm proud of how he conducts himself throughout the building. I mean, anytime you see him, besides just now with him, coming on the show with you, he's either in his iPad or he's with Coach Steichen. So as for a rookie quarterback to always want to be learning, I think that's the biggest aspect. A lot of quarterbacks come in with a tremendous talent, but very few of them really want to study and understand and learn the game to be the best that they can be, and I think that's what he's doing.
I love that. Week 1, Texans. Your thoughts?
That's going to be one that it's going to be a sticking point for us just because it hurts. It hurts, when you go out like that, how we did last year. Any kind of loss like that will hurt, but we get a chance to redeem ourselves week 1 and then go from there and start stacking them.
I need you to reel the guys in, I think, a little bit during this game with Zaire and EJ and, obviously Stroud and Anthony Richardson. I hate that it's week 1. I'd much rather it be week 5 when both teams sort of know who they are. Like week 1, what do you really know week 1?
week one, the one thing that you know is that, especially for us, someone is coming into Lucas Oil Stadium and they're trying to wipe their paws, wipe their feet, right on top of us. And, we can't let that happen. So that's one thing we know for sure is coming in week one. And ready or not, you better be ready because the NFL season is upon us.
Let's go! Woo, 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 woo. The Colts, don't sleep on them. This is Jonathan Taylor coming to, I don't even know, like you could run the world. You're absolutely amazing. And we'll see if so you can switch the helmet thing whenever you want.
Yeah.
After week one, you could say, I want my old helmet back.
You can do whatever you
Great.
want.
You don't have to marry it to yourself to anything. Other than the idea that this team might win the division and it might start week one. I'm here with DeForest Buckner. Defo, you're rolled up in the middle of a non-practice day. What are you doing? There's literally cows 20 feet away. Not another soul in sight.
Yeah.
What is your day like today?
Today they gave us a little extra time to sleep in a little bit. Especially coming off of an off day. Coach probably wants to get us a little bit more rest before we have the Cardinals come into town.
I know he's got Gannon, his boy. He tried to play it cool, but he's going to have a little extra something for them, I think, don't you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially when especially when the coaches are friends and know each other. You know what I mean? Both head coaches now, and so they're going to compete against each other.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little chess match out there. What do you get out of personally, even now, a joint practice?
Yeah, honestly, not hitting the same person every day. I mean, especially not being able to play in the first preseason game and things like that. So being able to go against another opponent, obviously the working that I put in, throughout the off season, being able to go against somebody else, somebody different that doesn't really know my go-to moves or little things like that. So I mean, it's gonna be fun to see.
Who are you sick of hitting?
Quentin Nelson. Every day. I mean, me and Q, we have our battles. We go back and forth, since I got here back in 2020, and it's been great. He's been able to make me better, and I've been able to make him better each and every day. So, I mean, it's been fun competing against him.
I don't think those Cardinals are excited to have to deal with you for a couple of joint practices.
I mean, I'm sure they're happy that I'm not in their division anymore.
Yay, that's very true. Here we are in Indy. It's a bit of an off day. We love that. I just met your coach for the very first time. I never met Shane Steichen.
Really?
What sets him apart? What's special about him?
Yeah, I mean, Shane, he knows how to connect with the guys on a personal level, but also, he's just a competitor. Everything we do, we're always competing. I mean, he almost ends every team meeting with some type of competition. And, that gets the guys going and, keeps the competitive nature, throughout practice and it translates into games. Last year I saw a big difference between the year prior and last year. I mean, just being able to, in certain games, tight games, down the stretch, we're able to, compete our butts off and finish them. You know what I mean? And I couldn't say the same from the year before. So, I mean, it was a big culture difference for sure.
Amazing. Speaking of competition, I don't know what happens at the end of practice. I don't think the paintball guns come out then, but y'all had that earlier. It was offense versus defense. You versus Pittman seems like the marquee matchup. Who got the best of who?
Me, definitely. Pitt likes to say I was camping, but I mean, is it really camping when you got a strategic advantage? I mean, why would I leave my spot when I got I got the whole field full of offense out in front of me. I can hit anybody I want, and I could take cover whenever I want. So is it really camping? I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so we were just talking to your coach about where there's not really everyone's so humble. Nobody wants to be talked about. We're looking for the personality. Clearly, it's Defo. I need somebody to knock this team out of being overlooked and looked at as an underdog. It's bullshit. I'm here to pop the bubble of,
for sure.
It's a 9-win team.
I know.
A playoff contending team without Anthony Richardson. Now you get him back. JT is healthy.
Yeah, most
this
definitely.
offensive line, you're mentioning Quentin Nelson. Let's put some respect on the Indianapolis Colts.
No,
You're the man to do it.
No, for sure. I mean, you look at the roster. I mean, you can do that with any team. But going into this year, like you said, we're a 9-win team last year. With Gardner at the helm, and I mean, Gardner's a great quarterback. He was a great quarterback for us, and without our guy Anthony, you know what I'm saying. I mean, we obviously have the roster to do it. I mean, we've had since when I was here, a lot of the guys were young. And now, we're all veteran guys, and we got, like you said, we got Pitt, we got Q, we got Z, we got Kenny Moore, we got JT, and we got Anthony back. So, I mean, we got a lot of guys on this roster that can do it, that played at an all-pro, Pro Bowl level. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of those guys on this roster, and it's about time people stop overlooking us.
Top 10 offense somehow last year with all of the adversity. I think it only will make you guys better. I love that you're giving love to the offense. The defense was nothing to sneeze at either. fifth in the league in sacks. Not a single player had double-digit, though.
Yeah.
15 different guys got the quarterback. Is that a good thing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think, when you got multiple guys that can get after the quarterback, we can come in waves. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the big things for us, in the room was, we knew we had a lot of talent, young talent in the room. And seeing a lot of those guys, get their sack numbers up and really get after the quarterback last year was very encouraging. And obviously adding Laiatu into the mix, I mean, he's going to help make us better even more. So I'm very excited about that. And also, honestly, just being able to play off of each other and learning each other's playing styles. I mean, it's been great for us so far.
As a man who saw Bosa his rookie year,
Yeah.
what vibe, what energy, what does Latu bring?
Yeah, I actually talked to Chris about this a couple days ago. I was just telling him, like, when I was with Nick, his rookie year, him coming in, just, going through drills, seeing him in team, I was very encouraged seeing him. I knew he was going to make a big difference for us moving forward. And Latu, the same vibes. Like, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I know it's some big shoes and, really, somebody to really follow, which is Nick Bosa, which is, a former defensive player of the year. But, I mean, Laiatu definitely has all of the characteristics, all the potential, in his game and just the man that he is. I mean, he definitely has what it takes.
Can you give me, like, the specific comps for them? Like, something that you're like, Nick had that, Latu has that.
Yeah, just honestly, the way they go through the drills is just so polished. You know what I mean? His handwork is really good. I mean, he can find multiple ways to win. One thing I can say, I mean, he's a little taller than Nick, but he's slippery. I mean, I saw him in a rush last week. It was actually off of Kenny Moore's interception. Laiatu brought the pressure towards the quarterback, but I mean, I thought, he was kind of, done for in his rush, and he kind of just changed levels and slipped under Garrett Bowles, and I was like, oh, I've seen it, multiple times throughout, the season with different guys around the league, but seeing it on our own team with Laiatu, he brings a different attribute to the mix.
That's amazing. You're calling yourself a veteran. What is your role in the Texans Week 1 emotional level?
One, keeping our heads cool for sure.
Are you, though? Because I have a feeling I have to worry. I know I got to worry about Zaire.
Zaire, yeah.
I know I got to worry about EJ.
yeah.
Am I supposed to, if I'm your coach, am I counting on you to, like, mellow people out? Or am I worried about you running through someone?
Kind of both. I'm a good balance of both. I know when to turn it on, when to turn it off. So sometimes EJ and Zaire will get a little too emotional during the game and start chirping off a little bit. So I'm the kind of guy. Me and Grover, we're the two guys that kind of like reel them back in a little bit, try to avoid those yellow flags.
Defoe's out here reeling people in. You heard it here first. I want this to be the best rivalry in the NFL. Can you tell me, or do you consider it a top rivalry? Is it real? You were part of some big ones in San Francisco, of course. How real is this rivalry? What exists there?
No, I definitely think there's some bad blood between the two teams for sure. You know what I mean? Especially, CJ's been talking a little bit in the offseason. Zaire's been talking a little bit in the offseason. And, we at the end of the day, we split. You know what I mean? We won the first one, they won the second one. Obviously, the second one was bigger to get them to the playoffs. And there's definitely some bad blood in the water. So, it's definitely one of those rivalries you got to look out for.
If last year was any indication, though, you love yourself a Week 1 bout here. Last year, you had an opener against Jacksonville. Do you remember your stat line at all? It was so good. 7 tackles, a sack, forced fumble, and then, of course, the
touchdown,
scoop and score, touchdown. We love that. So what do you got cooking week 1?
Week 1. Honestly, I'm just getting after. I gotta assault the pocket and get after CJ. That's my biggest my biggest mission for week 1 is making his life miserable.
Me and Hamilton were talking on our drive here this morning, and every quote that we were reading and catching up on you, I felt like you're not satisfied.
No.
I feel like you didn't love last year or something. What is that all about, and what does that mean for this year?
Yeah, obviously, my ultimate team goal is winning a Super Bowl. I mean, being so close back in 19, I mean, definitely hurt. You know what I mean? I just let the Super Bowl slip it through my fingers. But also just personally, my thing is just respect. I feel like I'm one of the few veteran guys in this league that play my position to play at a high level and put up the numbers on a consistent basis year in and year out, and I'm always overlooked. So I made it a mission this year to gain the respect and demand that respect from my peers and from everybody watching.
How do you do that? Is there something that changed up? How do you take it to another level if you feel like you have to? Not
Yeah.
that I think you have to, because I don't think you have to.
Right. Honestly, just approaching every week like it's my last, and like I always do, and I mean, just, put the numbers out there.
But you're the guy that's going to reel in Zaire and EJ. I don't believe that for a second. You have this crazy energy about you. How does Charlie Patridge help you do what you want to do?
Yeah. At this point in my career, it's really looking at the little things, the detail, my fundamentals and technique, and I feel like Charlie has been able to do that with me and all the guys in the room. I've seen, a couple of our young guys take tremendous steps after he's, came into OTAs, and, watching them now, seeing the little differences they made in their game, and that Charlie has been a big part of it, and I think he can help me a lot.
How slept on is Anthony Richardson?
It's very slept on. I mean, he's only been able to put a little tester out there for everybody
9
last
snaps
year.
in his preseason game.
In the preseason game, he's knocking off the cobwebs. So, I think he's gonna, once everything starts rolling and we get into the season, everybody's gonna really be put on notice.
You signed a 2-year, $46 million contract. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you buy these for the entire team? Is this mine? Did you bring this for me? What is this thing?
No, it's a fat scooter. A company based out of Arizona. I actually got that for the entire D-line. It was back in 2021. It was a Christmas gift. So, training camp out here at Grand Park, everything's kind of spaced out. So, try to stay off our legs.
What does $46 million buy you in Indianapolis, I wonder?
Let me see. Buys me a lot of, it's hard.
Whatever you need.
Whatever I need, yeah.
The point is, how good does it feel to be settled, to belong?
Yeah.
It's a big theme I've noticed. This is my 15th camp.
Yeah.
And there's this feeling, even Tua yesterday, it's like, I feel it's settled and I belong.
Yeah.
It's not only you, Zaire and Grover,
Yeah.
all signing contracts,
Yep.
extensions. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, like you said, it means like, I feel belonged and I feel wanted. Obviously the organization, my teammates, coaches, ownership, even my community, they value what I bring to the table. And honestly, as a player, that's all you want. You want somebody to value you and like you value yourself. And I couldn't be more grateful.
Oh, I'm nervous about this season with these quarterbacks you're going to be facing. Incredible. One last one about your quarterback. Can you name a more physically gifted quarterback than Anthony Richardson?
Not in the game right now, no. I couldn't.
Why don't we talk about that?
I know, it's insane. I mean, I remember when he first walked through during the draft process, I thought he was a D lineman. I thought he was a DN. I thought he was a defensive end. I was like, who's that guy? And they were like, oh, it's Anthony Richardson from Florida. I was like, I knew he was a big person, but I didn't know he was that big. So, he's a different breed for sure.
I feel like he could win a dunk contest against any NBA player. Like, he's insane.
Yeah, he could definitely win a dunk contest and out of the NFL for sure. But the NBA, he might be up there too.
I appreciate you saying that about him. I'm here on a mission to just put that on the map that it's the year of Anthony Richardson, the AR of note in the NFL. Thanks, Defo. Appreciate you as you're trying to get your Super Bowl. Let's do it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll be back. I'm here with Vice Chair and owner of the Indianapolis Colts, coming to a playoff near you, Kaylin Jackson. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you again. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for welcoming me. It's sort of quiet around here, so it's a perfect time to get a really good introspection and really good moments with the players. I talked to Anthony Richardson. I talked to Coach Shane Steichen. I met them both for the first time. Somehow I've never met them.
Oh, that was your first time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you got to. They all said they had so much fun.
Good. They're very humble. Very humble group.
Well, and I think that is, you try to look for a certain type of player. And I think same with coaching. It's like you're going to have that same feeling. And so it's nice to hear that that's how you feel. Because I think that's what we try to create around here.
Jonathan Taylor, to everyone, even DeForest Buckner, who I expect to be a maniac, was just like, it's familial. They have their goals. They're dialed in. And it's
Gentle
awesome.
giant.
Yes. I love it. Gentle giant who wants a Super Bowl ring. And we might get it for him here. I know Kicking the Stigma is so near and dear to your heart, head to toe. Let's start with the shoes.
Yes. So these are one of my Cosmic cleats, one of the years that me and my sister and my dad all did our own versions, and they're very loud, but that's the good thing. It's like trying to bring attention in any way we can to mental health awareness, and this week is super exciting. It'll be our second year. We're kind of doing a Kicking the Stigma week at camp, so we do a lot. Yes, here's the shirt, and we're so blessed to be able to work with another team. So last year was the first year we were able to partner with the Bears,
Right.
and it's our initiative. But we take shirts and we put, and this year's the Cardinals.
that's
we put their
awesome.
logo on it as well. So this is on ours as well with Kicking Stigma on the back. You did the back and the front, but I love it because it's showing Kicking the
have a
Stigma.
back?
So yeah, mental health is health.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just nice, I think, for us to, it's something that we are so passionate about and believe in so much, and has been able to make such an impact in such a short amount of time to date. I mean, I think since we last talked, the numbers keep going up in such a positive way. We're at 31 plus million committed
Oh
in
my
under 4
goodness.
years. So a lot of that is family donations, and then also mixed, obviously, with fundraising. But for us, whenever we do this stuff, it's not for us about, trying to get a ton of money from people. I think for us, it's really, truly the element of making this okay to talk about, making this something that is accepted more culturally, because as everyone knows, I think it's been very highlighted in the last few years in a lot of different ways, especially in sports. But I think it's great. I mean, I think it's really showcasing something that's been there all along. It's just now people are kind of coming around to the idea that it's okay to talk about it out loud. So I think for us, these weeks are really to showcase to the players. Like, training camp's about a lot of things, prepping your body, prepping playbook, plays, etc. But then really talking about prepping your mind and what we need to do to help you do that. So this week's super exciting. Again, it's our second year of doing it, but this year we're bringing in today, Brian Dawkins is going to speak to the team. So I'm going to be you, and I'm going to be interviewing him in front of the team in a little bit here. And I just think having him, one, he's just such a powerful force and has such a powerful story and message. But having been them, and being able to talk about the stressors that are very similar to what many of them in that room will be going through right now, I think it'll really hit home in a really beautiful way. So we're excited to have him here as well.
Dawkins is such a legend. I love that he's here, and a legend not just in globally,
Yes.
but like he's such an NFL legend. But he is known as sort of this physical player. Like, it's all about the physicality. What is the message you think he has for these players about how mental health is health?
Well, that's what we're going to find out today. But if anyone hasn't read his book, there's some really powerful moments in it where he talks about his rookie year, especially being extremely difficult for him. And I rewatched his Hall of Fame speech actually last night, and it's so powerful. I mean, him admitting the fact that he just got so many elements of his life. It wasn't just football. It was because it's not just. And he kind of really talks about how football is what made him, but it doesn't define him, and really processing that part and how he was able to work on his mental state. It enabled him to be the player that he was able to become. And he really credits it to so many people that told him, this is not something that's going to go away on your own. You have to go get help. And he even talked about that he was suicidal to the point of planning it. And I think even just him saying that, being such a strong, masculine man, really kind of redefines what masculinity is. You don't have to not have emotion to be masculine. And I think that's why this initiative is connected with so many people, and why I think we've seen such a positive impact on our players. And I think just the fact that they know that that's accepted here is a big deal. And I think we've seen a shift even in the way that personnel even view things that come up, and realizing that they can, help a player through it, and not that it's something that we can't get past.
I want to know more about that, because the truth is, and Kicking the Stigma is your goal, and the money provides resources for that to people, all sorts of communities here in India and elsewhere. It's okay to not be okay, right? It's okay to not be okay. 10 years ago, the truth is that this was not talked about. In my world, my circles, certainly not on an NFL field. The fact that Brian Dawkins the fact that you're teaming up with another team in joint practices to bring awareness to this, to try to kick the stigma. The shift, it's not where we want it to be. I guess I'm asking, what have you seen in your own players who are super involved with this? And then that they see it's okay. What have you noticed around your players in this sort of evolution of it?
Yeah, well, I think even the conversations I have with them and stuff that they share with me, I think the biggest thing, whether it's with players or even externally or even on the business side with our employees, that I've seen is that initiatives like this and conversations like this give people the permission. I mean, it's really truly opening a door, and it sounds like such a simple, easy thing, but it's really not.
No.
And I think that we try to start with our own story and being vulnerable there and showing that, you know, we did share it and we're still here. Like, you know, nothing happened. It's like, I think it's like that fear of, what if I do say it and someone thinks of me differently? And I think ripping off that Band-Aid, it can be really hard. Or my dad always says it's like that 1,000-pound phone. It's hard to pick up the phone and when you're struggling. So I think I've seen just one, the way that they talk with me and their coaches and everything about it, but also the way that they want to be involved in what we're doing with this initiative. You know, everyone wants to always help whenever we're doing a PSA or anything like that. And that's another thing that we're doing this weekend. We did something similar with a different organization last year. We're doing a joint service project this week with both teams too. So this year it's going to be with the Milk Bank in Indiana. So doing bereavement kits.
Very cool. Wow.
So it'll be
gosh.
and they'll also
Both
be writing.
teams.
Yeah, both teams will be doing it together, which I think is really cool too. I mean, I think a lot of the beauty of sport is the competition part, but it's also the element of coming together and collectively what we can do when there's more of us. And I think this is a perfect example of that.
You are so busy with this. You are so passionate about it. You're also going to be providing the keynote at this year's Indiana Women's Summit on Thursday.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to there?
I'm
you are
excited.
on the microphone all week, Kaylin Jackson.
I know. Well, I think for me, it's the biggest compliment when people say I can feel how passionate you are about it, because I really am. And I think that's, again, why this has been really impactful, is that it's genuine. You know, our family has lived experience. And I think that when it comes from that you know that we truly care about this and care about the people that are listening to the message. And I think I'm just excited. Again, anytime I go speak somewhere, I always tell people, because you may not be able to give, you know, $10,000, and that's okay. One of the biggest things is, you know, taking what you hear even today, like what you hear today and what we're talking about, is taking it and sharing it with others, or asking a family member that you might be questioning if they're doing okay. It's okay to ask that question, and you don't know, that might be the one thing that they're waiting for. So our theme this year is let's talk about it.
Okay.
And really trying to encourage conversations in any element of what we're doing around kicking the stigma.
I think the reason it's so impactful is your passion, which just really is palpable to anybody that you talk to about it. But also the fact that, you know, when I look at any organization, it's the top to bottom effect. All of them are. And the fact that you and your family have been so open and vulnerable in letting people in, that's the huge part. That is what makes it easy for a player, a quarterback, a front office, a whatever, to get on board. And like, I thank you for that, because not everybody does it. It's something that everybody deals with, whether it's a small level or on a larger scale. But the openness of your family is a truly deeply beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. I think it's like, I always laugh. It's kind of like my little version of thinking of it is how Eminem used to talk about he'd put stuff in his raps that were like negative about himself so that no one could say it about them.
Right.
It's kind of like when you own your story like that, like no one's perfect and everyone has issues of some kind, like some shape or form. And I think there's something beautiful. And I think the older I get, the more I feel the acceptance of your own problems and things that you go through and how they make you who you are, and they make you the positive parts of you. And so I think that's also such a, you know, what makes me so passionate about it is allowing people to feel comfortable in their own skin and move through life like we only have one. And so I think we're just happy to be a small part of it. I mean, we always say we're not the experts by any means. But for example, the state of Indiana, the new rankings came out. Forever we've been bottom in resources, you know, number of suicide, depressions, all those things. And we've been in the 40s, and we just jumped in the last year to 24. So, those are based on those are based on 2022 numbers. So that, I mean, we like to think we had a small part, and you know, we were in the 40s for years upon years upon years, and the fact that right after we kind of started that campaign,
it's a safe assumption, Kaylin. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's also been a buy-in from the state for sure, and we're very involved in talking with them and stuff, but it makes us proud to know that hopefully we were a part of that in some way, and that we're making true change with the dollars that are being donated, and that the teams that are collectively working on this with us together, we hope they go back to their cities and that their fans are inspired to ask the same questions.
It's such a young thing that you're doing. Like, you did the Bears last year, now Arizona Cardinals, but just 4 years to have that much of an impact, and it is because of that. And just like it takes money to get resources and to get the message out. It just does. And so for that to be so huge on such a huge scale over just 4 years is badass. It's freaking awesome.
Oh, well, thanks.
And
I
I
appreciate the support as
always.
always.
Yeah, anytime. And then you mentioned your dad. Did I hear he was out at practice lately?
Yeah,
Tell me
and
about that.
He was at practice, and then the Hall of Fame was so fun with
Tell me,
Dwight.
yes.
It was awesome. I
Michael
mean,
Jordan, Kaylin, what?
oh my gosh, it was such a. I will say, like, I'm very, very blessed to get to meet a lot of people, and that was like very much probably one of my only fangirl moments of like, oh my gosh, just the aura of it all.
Reggie Miller somewhere shaking his head,
Yeah.
not happy with
Reggie.
you saying that.
I love
but I
Reggie.
mean, it's Michael Jordan. Like I'd be
It
terrified to meet him.
it was incredible. And so he was so kind and
Well, how was your dad in that? Like
so great.
Yeah.
Well, so we got to meet him at the ceremony. But you know, for my dad, those moments truly, more than people ever will be able to understand, means so much to him. I mean, to be able to be asked by 3 players now to be inducted doesn't happen. And so he really truly takes that to heart, and it means more than anything to him. And so for him to be able to be there, it was so special. And to see all the guys back together, it's like a big reunion, getting to see Peyton
what was
and
it
Marvin
like?
and everybody.
Oh my God, take
It
me
was so
into that.
fun.
That's
Well,
crazy.
you know what? Who we hadn't seen in forever was Bob Sanders was there. We hadn't seen him forever. And so any Colts fans who are watching, he's great. He looks like he could play. Like I was like, look like you could get out there right now. But yeah, so it's always fun to see them. And I was much younger then, you know, when they were playing. But it's funny to, you know, kind of be where I'm at now, and I think for them to see me too.
Yeah.
And it was such a great night for Dwight. We're so proud of him.
He's the best.
He's the
I have him
best.
on my show all the time. He's unbelievable. Like I
He's so
think
fun.
he's so fun. He's so great. He like nobody lives a better life than him.
I know.
And I don't think the Hall of Fame jackets are ending anytime soon. I think you've got, you know, Anthony Richardson,
I was
Jonathan
gonna
Taylor.
say,
They have a
we
mission,
hope.
Kaylin.
We gotta get going. I think that's like the hardest part, honestly, of the year is the off season. You
Yeah.
just like watch the clock tick by, and just can't wait to be in this moment and have the energy again and have a fresh start. So I'm super, super excited, and I can't wait for the regular season to start.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson told me he has over 60 pairs of Crocs. Does your dad have more or less guitars
Wait, that's
than
hilarious.
that?
Oh,
way more.
more. Way
Like,
more.
Like how many times?
Way more. Actually, don't know. the
Stupid
official
question.
number
You
anymore.
don't?
No.
I gotta
I mean,
get
'cause it
that
keeps
number.
building.
It's
Like,
like
keeps
jelly
changing.
beans, and it really changes that often.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. That's so
You
cool.
would love so many of the elements that he has in his collection. There's so many.
He has like
really,
the
really
Beatles
cool
drum
things.
head or something,
Well,
right?
I'm a huge Beatles fan. I took a Beatles class at IU when I went there. Literally full semester of Beatles. Like, it was the best thing
Didn't
ever.
he have a Beatles like
Yeah, he has a
drum
couple
kit?
Beatles guitars. He has the drum head from the Ed Sullivan Show,
Like
and then
what?
he has John Lennon's piano, which I think is one of the coolest.
He has
things.
John Lennon's piano.
And when I came over when he got it, and he's like, "Play it," and I was like, "I don't think I should."
Did you
I
play
should
it?
Touch it.
What do you play on John Lennon?
No,
John
I can't
Lennon's
play piano, so I was just like barely touching it. I was like, I don't want to break
like,
anything.
Yeah, white glove treatment,
Yeah,
the whole thing.
exactly. But yeah, my dad is very eclectic collection, and he's a very eclectic person. And
It's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
And we love him and everything he's doing, that your family's doing. Kicking the Stigma, guys. It is going on. You are very busy. Thank you for taking the time.
No, thank you.
Anything we can ever do. I need all of your jewelry. I need these shoes. My Cause My Cleats kills it with this. All for awareness that, you know, it's okay to not be okay. And mental health is absolutely health. We are kicking the stigma 24/7 all year round. Thank you, Kate.